Look, it's one of those weird situations. I don't have a lot to say, but I just wanted to talk for the hell of it and see what I have to say without planning anything. Now, I know a lot of times that that can be a bit of a problem because you bore people, you have no focus. And I know that that could happen, but it's okay if it only lasts 5 minutes or 10 or 15. It's okay. I'm just doing it for fun, and I'll see how it goes. So today is March 5th. Oh, it's March 6th. My son is next to me, and he corrected me, and he is correct. So it's March 6th. Let's see if the volume is in the right spot. Is that better? Oh, it is better. See, when you don't plan, you suffer the consequences of just taking a shot. Next to me is my son Corey. He's playing video games. He has a little divider next to him because he doesn't want me to watch what he's watching. It's just how he is. I mean, it's fine. He doesn't like people poking in their nose in his business. I'm the same way. I get a lot of times people that get their nose in my business, and I just don't appreciate it. I've had to deal with that recently in my life. People that want to give advice, do this, don't do that. I don't want to hear that. This is not directed at anybody that frequents or infrequents my shows. Just a general thing that's been getting me a little stressed out lately. Another thing I hate to do, this is just talking. It's popping in my head. I'll talk about it. I hate to go on long drives. I hate to have people that want me to visit them or see them and talk to them and interact with them. And then I have to drive for 45 minutes each way, or in some cases, 2 or 3 hours because I have family that lives out of the area and there's occasional meetings or a couple of friends I grew up with, which is not a knock on these friends. Believe me, I have nothing against them. They're great people I grew up with, but they happen to have moved away. They happen to have gotten on a highway 30, 40 years ago and left town. So that was a good move by them because their lives improved quite a bit. But means that if I ever want to interact with them in person, I'm gonna have to make the move down there because they're not as well. I wouldn't say never, but they're mostly not interested in coming to the area that I live in. So I'm kind of, I don't say I feel bad about it. It's a childhood people I grew up with, so I'm happy to see them. But then you have to sacrifice the day of running back and forth. So those are things that have been bugging me here and there. Other things, health things. This has been going on. I have been drowning in health things. Why don't I talk about it? One of my sons, Jeremy, and to a lesser extent, his brother, Corey, drove me crazy. They wanted a cat. Okay, 5 years of this. I want a cat. Everybody has a cat. I love cats. I want to play with him. If I buy a cat, I want his name to be this. I want his name to be that. I want it to be this, that. So finally, the guilt got to me, and someone in the family had a cat that had two kittens, very little, small, not a lot of kittens too, right? So we took one. Now the cat is sweet. Let me tell you, this cat doesn't have a hissing mentality to lash out. It doesn't seem to have any aggression. But then you got to get it vaccines. You got to get it. They clip their nails. It mistakenly got stressed and jumped away from one of my sons, and its claw kicked up and unfortunately scratched about an inch above his eye, like this part, which happened to me as a 6-year-old. So then I said to myself, should I get the claws out? And then everybody screamed at me, don't do that. Don't do that. It's inhuman. People railing at me on Twitter and websites and whatever. So I didn't do it. So now I've had 2 or 3 times the vet has clipped its nails. And I learned how to do it. And at some point, I will do the clipping myself or my son. Then the neutering pressure starts. The neutering. So I got to figure out how to deal with this pressure. So I make that appointment. So you figure, okay, so I'm done. No, the cat has to be miserable for 2 weeks after the neutering. It's a male cat because they have to wear a cone, which stops the cat from licking the area that was cut, which we all know what it is. So there's that to deal with. So the cat's miserable. Then I go to, then I have pressure for other health issues for one of my sons because I don't want to go into great detail, but there's pressures to do tests which could end up leading to another operation, which most likely is just in case he might need might something fixed many years down the road, which they don't even think, they don't know. But there's scalpel happy doctors that just seem to want to go cutting away. So I have that pressure. That's every 6 months to a year, I get a doctor bugging me to do a test, which could lead to an operation. Then that same boy who's right next to me, what do? We go to the dentist. So I figured, I'm okay now. There's no more. This should be fine. No, the orthodontist has to be seen to make sure the boy's underbite. See, these are the way teeth should be. The top one's over the bottom, but in his case, it's like the bottom are equal. They're not. The top don't go over; they go behind. So I got to make an appointment for that. That could be thousands. Then the kid will scream and yell and cry how miserable he is that he has to wear those. So that's something else. Someone in my family had a family member die. So they're upset that nobody in the family on that side ever bothered to tell her. She had to find out by digging around Facebook to figure it out. So they're mad. So we're dealing with 4 people and a cat, and everybody's going through something in this house, except for maybe the one of my kids who just seems to just occasionally mouth off about something or get a little nervous and a little bit mad about something, but he seems to be spared from all the constant issues that are happening. Now, that's just an overview of my mood. And then I go on Howard Stern, and I deal with all those people. There's a website called Radio Gunk, a great website, but it's so negative, and I'm negative too. I sit there and rail against the guy. His show is not as good as it was. He does parents imitation, like if there's 3 shows a week, 2 out of 3, he'll spend 15 to 20 minutes of a 3.5-hour show talking, imitating his parents. Now, it's one thing if you do it every 3-4 months, it's a novelty. But if you do it every, like 2 out of 3 shows a week, it becomes irritating. Now, he's the king. He doesn't think anybody doesn't like his show. And he says to himself, if people don't like it, I don't care about those people. I'm only interested in the ones that like it. So his show is literally not as entertaining as it was. Then he spends 2 to 3 hours interviewing celebrities and wasting time. And I feel like obliged to listen to it. I feel like I need to listen to his show. It's because I went through such hell to get the show in the first place. I had to drive to the United States from Canada to get a radio and get a subscription, American-based, so that I could get his show, because at first Canada didn't want to broadcast it for the first month, and I wasn't about to miss out on a first month of his shows when I've been waiting for years to hear him. And it was great back then, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, until about 2014, 13, 12, 15. You could sense he's remember what it's like to go to a concert and enjoy it. And then I remember being squeezed into some seats that were not comfortable and had people kind of shoving around, and it was very, very, wasn't fun the last few times because I'm tall and the seats are small, and you have these apes on each end of you, guys that are 280, 5'9" or 6'1", and so I don't even enjoy that anymore. So basically, my show is very little about music. It's just a complaint. Let's see if this it says say something, so nobody's here, so I might as well say something. Hi. Let's see if this works. Hi. So it works. I think there was one person watching. Now they're gone, but it's okay. There's no glory here, but there's Corey here. Corey, I'm doing a live show. Say something and the people will hear you. Say something.
Wait.
You want to come say hello? Tell me about what you're doing today. Say hi, Corey.
Hi.
So how old are you?
I'm 9.
Are you having a good day?
Yes.
When are you going back to school?
I forgot.
Monday. Are you excited to go back to school?
A little.
A little.
I'm also proud because I think that my teacher will come back.
Yeah, I think Miss McRae will come back. Well, that's Corey saying hi. By the way, my last few shows, I've been obsessed with fiddling around with the microphone. And I swore to myself I would not touch it once, not even once, because I find it's just a little bit of a habit and it's useless. It doesn't change the sound. And I'm pretty much not being watched and heard by that many anyway. So it's this is not, you know, Sirius satellite radio here. I'm not monetizing. I'm just, I usually do it and I have a musical theme, but I felt inclined that it's been probably since late December 2020 to just say something and talk, just to get the things going that are in my head that are bothering me. You can see my hair is very short. I had it cut down to stubble. The woman didn't really comprehend why would I do that. And I said, well, listen, long hair is hard to handle, and you have to deal with it. And I just said, cut it down to almost nothing. Do you want to say something else?
Wait, but
You can't. I can't get the camera over to you. You have to talk here if you feel that you have something important to say. You know, I'm a little annoyed because him and his brother have a channel called Cjo versus J Bro, and this YouTube. I mean, I'm on YouTube, so I better be nice or they'll cut me off.
Danny,
Basically, booted us because either there was an adult present in the children's video, so there has to be, or maybe they played a video game and they weren't allowed to. I don't understand their rules. They're complicated. It's the second time we've been booted out. It's some kind of rules about the children's channel where you're not supposed to do things. Now, do you have anything else to say? Oh, you want to go to Eddie G's Music World and watch me? Then I'll have somebody watching me. Corey might watch. No, I have another son, Jeremy, but he's You can, if you find it, it's live.
how do I do
Well, it's hard for me to help you find it because just put Eddie G's Music World and then look for live. Maybe of EDDY G apostrophe S Music World. You might find it.
uppercase
He's trying to find it on his computer.
Wait,
Yeah, type that in. G apostrophe S. Big G apostrophe S. Big M for music. Big W for world. Maybe you could chat with me. You know what the hell? What am I doing? I mean, I'm not doing a lot. In 2015, I quit my job, and I thought it would be leisurely. I go to probably between all the medical stuff that I deal with, I probably go to 40 something appointments a year. 40 something. So I don't have a boss anymore, but due to my health and other people's health. Corey saying hi. Hi, my boy. He's the only one that's watching. Corey Glee. Corey. Nice to say hi.
Daddy, how do I make the live stream?
You on Cedro, your thing you're not allowed to because they banned you. He's there. He's there. He's there. He's there. He's there. He's a sweet kid.
Okay. Do I go to my channel?
I have to remove the. Don't chat. You know why? Because I don't want people to see your last name. So I'm gonna have to delete that. No, your comments on my thing. I want to cut them off because my last name is on there. Okay, don't be mad. You have to change your name to Corey G. GL.
Maybe I could do it on.
I don't know how to do it. It's because don't you can You could say hi on the video, but I'm worried that you put your name on there. Anyway, I'm not going to talk much longer, Corey. I'm not going to talk much longer. I just wanted to check in and have another video. Let's see if I have something incredible to say about music. Oh, I know what I could talk about. I deal with a guy named Claude, and we have a prediction by weeks, like within a 7-day period, how many celebrities will die. And he went for 4, like over or under 4 per week. But the rule is we both have to know who that celebrity is. I almost touched the microphone, but I stopped. And lately, there's not been a lot of deaths. So that's another thing I do to pass the time, and listen to the radio, go to doctors, go to shopping. I'm 61 now. It's hard to believe that time is going like that. I'm I'm going to say goodbye. I accomplished it. Say goodbye, Corey. Come back. Don't type on it because I don't want your name to be on there. You have to change it for another name next time. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to sign off. You want to say goodbye? Just come to the microphone and say goodbye a little bit. Corey, you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye. Come to the camera and say.
Said bye.
Okay, he said bye. Well, I'm saying goodbye too. And one day we'll look back at this video and talk about it. Be well on this Saturday. Try not to let life go too fast. When they asked David Cassidy on his deathbed if he had any final words, he said, "Don't waste your life. I wasted too much time." And then he died. So keep that in mind. Try to enjoy your life because you never know when it ends. Bye. Okay, I did.